Yeah, that would make it more than
Now
four.
it's like. Yeah.
No need for subcommittee.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:04 PM. Perfect. Roll call, please.
Stephen Herzberg,
Francesco Ortega.
And Rudy Blanco.
Don as well.
And Don. Okay. Good. Okay, in the order of business, is there anything that we want to change around, do differently?
My
I was
name is
in-
misspelled on the
Oh, I
agenda.
gotta see.
It's that's my thing about it. I honestly, I just noticed that because I'm like having misspelled.
No, I just didn't want to make a comment before.
I mean, I think your name needs to spell for a long time then.
No, no, Miguel spelled it right.
Okay, can you just confirm the spelling?
Just an H after the C.
Oh, okay,
Autocorrect usually removes the H. That's fine.
that might be it. So that, just to note, it's in the minutes as well, so let's go ahead and change that. I'll you want to note that in the minutes to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems
No, I'll just,
see the
once we get
agenda,
to public
you wanna move
comments.
anything around?
no, I can understand, once we get to public comments.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get there. Order of business, everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
We had that. Okay, public comments. We have guests.
Yes, and good
Kyle,
evening,
how are you?
good evening, everyone. I think, I've shared with some of you, but, good evening. So I shared with some of you, as you know, up to this point, since, January of 2021, I've been serving in the capacity as the mayor's liaison to West State. So that's all the municipalities, our state legislature, members of Congress that represent, the West State area. I recently, am transitioning now into a new role as deputy chief of staff in the mayor's office, overseeing intergovernmental affairs. And, by way of that transition, we're bringing on board a lovely lady by the name of Annabelle Rea, who is, a wonderful person, so a wonderful person, absolutely capable and wants to serve in this role with diligence and enthusiasm. And so I'm very excited that Annabelle is joining the team. And so what that means is she'll be the mayor's liaison to Miami Lakes among the other municipalities in West State, but also to the unincorporated areas in West State, of course, Country Club and Palm Springs North being a couple of them. And so I know that Annabelle wants to kind of continue the open line of communication and be supportive wherever possible. I know I have a couple of things that I need to close out on my end regarding.
Say that, yeah, maybe people are in already, have you
Yeah,
caught her
so
up to date?
so we've had conversations. I think we need to continue
Yeah.
to do it because
Yeah.
this is obviously a mammoth of an
It's a
issue.
mammoth.
And there's a lot of dynamics, but I want to be sure that she's fully caught up to speed so that she can be as effective of a communicator and advocate. I'm gonna be working closely with Annabelle, but she is your point of contact here moving forward if you ever do need anything from the county. And I was mentioning that there's a couple of things that I wanted to close out from the follows from the town hall,
Yeah.
including a piece from our Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Department, among I think 2 other pieces. So that is my charge, and I'll make sure to do that. And then moving forward, of course, Annabelle will be here to be responsive to you all. So with that, Annabelle, I don't know if you want to say a couple words about yourself.
No, I'm very happy to be here. I look forward to working with each and every one of you and whatever you need, I'm at your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Thomas, do you have any updates, anything recent on the blasting issues that you've heard of or that you're aware of?
Yeah,
that
no,
you're-
besides the workshop that happened at the legislature,
Yeah.
which was, I thought, enlightening in a few different regards, and I know
And
that,
your city's efforts to.
right, and I know that, this session ended the same way that many sessions have ended already, that the bill
Please.
dying.
Please,
Um,
please.
but, I think that for the first time since 2017, the county has put some teeth behind this with the resolution, and I think it would be wise, as a course of action for this committee to kind of continue to seek that approach, to have an official resolution, urging, against this, supporting, Fabrice's legislation. And that enables kind of our county lobbyists to be involved in that process. I think this year, there's an opportunity to do that earlier than last time, and maybe that'll give you all some flexibility to kind of determine the best path forward. But no real constructive updates other than, I'll continue to share what, those final pieces that were asked of me, and I just look to you all to see how else we can be supportive. But I think obviously the state legislature is the one piece that we all have our eyes on, so.
Any questions? Anything else for Thomas or for Annabelle?
No, but with regards to Don Fabricio, he went online, or actually he was interviewed by Channel 10, I think it is. And he
Yes.
said that he was getting very close to
Compensation.
obtaining the state
Yes,
to compensate properties for
Yes.
damages. So since you're gonna be now in a completely different role, perhaps the next time that you see him, ask him, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Because he was just very brief, very, so I don't know whether it is a way to
I think-
continue to get us hope.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like
what he
we're,
wants is like a special bill, which is how you do it in the state of Florida.
Like you do for damages.
Like you do for
Yeah.
damages, a
Yeah.
special bill. And I'm not gonna meet, that's one of my open discussions, new business things later on. I'm gonna meet with him and a gentleman called Jorge Navarini, who's running for Howard.
oh, George,
Yeah, yeah.
we know George.
Yeah,
Already.
I know through Ed Vidal, Ed Vidal is a good friend of mine.
Oh,
And actually,
very good. Okay.
my boss in the Republican National Lawyers Association,
No,
but anyway.
George Navarini's mother used to
George
live in Lake
Navarini.
Elizabeth, right next to our home, so we know him very well.
And he's adamant about this, President Brown. So try to team up together and see if they could come up with a special bill compensation in one way or another. And that's how we usually, in Florida, we compensate people who are injured in a different way, different from other matters. And
Yeah,
we
he said
propose
he
a
was
special-
looking at it from a new
Yeah.
approach, so you might as well.
Yeah, maybe it's by way of intro when I know Nikita and Annabelle have exchanged texts or emails. So maybe between the three of you, we can figure out a follow-up discussion and see how we can be supported, maybe even through the same track of a county resolution if that comes to be true, so.
Awesome, thank you.
No, just, like I said before the meeting started, thank you for, always being in communication of us, attending the meetings. It shows, commitment to the issue that you've been here over and over and over again and communicate with us, not just at the meetings, we share emails for months now, so. We appreciate that work and I know we'll be continuing with that. Thank you.
Fine, what's that? What do you have?
Just one last thing,
Go ahead.
you are not only a breath of fresh air, but you are the single individual that has changed my opinion about county employees
Oh, wow.
for the most part. So God bless you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the kindness. Seriously.
Any other public comments? Is anybody on?
I haven't received
I
that.
haven't seen them. Anybody else? Going once, twice? A regional office?
Same thing, I mean, we're working on. We're sending in the bills, making adjustments to it.
Yep.
So, the percent publications is working on it. And hopefully we'll get this one, I mean, it's, I think it was very good that at least we got the workshop, I think in years, I don't think anybody had listened to our concerns. So that was a good thing. And I thank you all for participating in it. I think that's good. So, well, we're looking forward to the next session.
Okay, anybody else? Going once, twice? Three times, public comments are closed. Moving on to adopt the minutes, I move to adopt the minutes. Very good. Seeing the words.
Yeah, I'll just.
I saw the.
Mention
your
the
name, your
name
name,
of your assistant, name, that's all. If anyone has any comments, so. I try my best.
Like words. Like words. Like words.
That's why I stick with last names inside the body. Last names are typically easier, at least in this group. Never mind.
Anybody second the motion? Anybody
Oh, second.
second? All in favor, guys?
Hi.
Aye. The minutes are adopted. Next, elections. Go ahead. See, I don't know.
I mean, No, we have to elect a chair,
And is there a chair?
so. Just someone wants to make a nomination for chair.
I like Kyle. No, I think it's.
It's actually a good idea because you can't.
I think it's a good idea.
Unless she leaves the town. So that's not what I do.
Well, I'm by sure I did think this for sure. I mean, I gotta keep on with this.
Yes.
I'm not
So-
gonna-
Do I second it or do I nominate you? Like,
3 times.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm reading along the same way. I'm fine with that. I'm happy maintaining the role of secretary. I don't know if we need to have a vice chair. I mean, ultimately, someone's gonna have to be the secretary coming up at some point. I don't know who wants to do that. I need to. I think maybe.
I think no one can fill his shoes. So I don't think you should. I'm kidding. Let's cross that bridge. when we get to-
Have there been, in the meantime, have there been any other nominations? Have there been, have you heard anything from the council or anything like that? 'Cause
No, I know the town clerk's office,
Yeah.
always alerts them when they have. new
All right, that's why I
applications.
asked, that's why I asked.
But I haven't
That's
seen
all.
anything.
So
new.
Gina, anything else, By the way, it's open to everybody. You know, it doesn't have to be from the family meetings. There's anybody
That's right, yeah.
interested in serving the board, it could be from Miramar or Doral or anywhere in the areas.
Yeah, it's something I wanna discuss
We
in
get,
their business, yeah.
yeah.
Without trying to spread the opportunity there. So, I mean, I'll second that nomination.
Second, okay,
Obviously, you nominate yourself.
accept,
All in favor?
all in favor?
I,
Aye,
What do we do about vice chair? Do we need to have a vice chair? Or I guess we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the vice chair.
No, I know, that's fine. I'll stick with secretary, so I'll nominate, Commissioner Ortega as vice chair.
I second that.
You accept the nomination.
I accept.
Next. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's fine, perfect. Secretary, will you vote? Is that okay, Al? So feels yours, yeah. Great. And moving right along. Homeowners marketing, how is that going? How is, that whole process?
So we met 2 weeks ago, which didn't give me as much time as, my usual. But we have not, to just be like upfront and get to the point, we have not made any progression in the HOA side of marketing. But I reached out again to one of the people that was nominated for the videos, because my plan was to tackle the videos and then the HOA.
Right, with you.
I've had a couple, the testimonies, right, so I've had a couple of Lakers. So I think we need to open it back up again to nominations. Not nominations, I don't think that's the right word, but like sending us recommendations on what residents to interview and get in front of the camera. And even if they're not comfortable getting in front of the camera, but they're okay with showing the damages to their home, like it could be a voiceover or something like that, I'll take anything at this point. And then. I think that's all for.
So,
You do have the list, right, for all the homeowners?
Yes, I have the list, yes, and actually, I'm sorry,
No.
now that we're on that topic, how can we develop a rotation where we can share the responsibilities? Like, is there a specific day in the week, like Tuesdays that you're good, or Mondays that you're good, and then I can kind of like assign like the meetings that are Tuesdays to you, and then the meetings that are,
I mean, I definitely don't have a specific day in the week. What I think makes sense is we need to figure out a way to just know when each HOA is meeting and run,
Or
put it in.
like a shared calendar?
Go to share
Okay.
calendar, and then just,
serenity points,
so
whatever,
as long, right, I mean,
winter bonds, whatever,
Okay, I got you.
there's no problem with us communicating with scheduling, something like that, because now we're just scheduling a presentation, which we've already approved to do, so we're
Okay.
allowed to. We're outside the realm of sunshine, my understanding, because it's just like if we were scheduling a meeting with a representative, something like that, we obviously have to discuss our calendars to do that. And it's not something that we're going to bring in front, we're just scheduling to go make a presentation that's today try to approve, right? That we'll make, that we're going to make, so. it's hard for me to commit to a specific day of the week, but I'm sure between the four of us, 5 to 6, however many we can get, that we can work it out and figure out what days, and if not, you know, if we can't, then we can't, but we gotta make an effort to get in front of these HOAs.
Yeah, for sure. And you said presentation. Is there something that was already used in the past?
I mean, yes and no. Miguel obviously has the
Yeah, but-
presentation, but those are too long.
No one
anyway.
can do one of those seismic down
Right.
presentations.
You're right. I don't know. You're right. Maybe we should create the
Yeah.
5-minute
Yeah.
HOA presentation.
Yeah,
That's something that we should do. And I would just use some of our past picture and part of some, a little bit of Miguel's thing, like the video of the tile popping, right? I think that's like,
right.
unfortunately, it didn't work in Tallahassee but that was, that just shows there's a blast, a tile pops, like, obviously, the effect is there, the cause and effect, right? So let's create a 5-minute, because we're going for an HOA, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with legislators, the attention span's gotta be pretty limited. Because they got other things to do. So let's
And
create.
This is one of the shaky.
Right, I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be different now. It's not going to be a more high level that we presented to the legislators. It is going to be more general presentation. We discussed want to do that, but I don't think we've ever made like a PowerPoint or whatever of that's something more general, lower level.
Yeah, no, I don't
We
think
haven't.
so.
All our presentations, PowerPoints have been high level, 30,
Yeah.
35 minutes, science, and
Yeah.
a little bit about the law and effects. We have to be more, policy.
Like the
house.
simple part.
Right, correct.
So what do we want to generate out of this meeting, right? So let's say we just went in front of an HOA and we're meeting with this group and we're gonna inform them on what the blasting advisory board does, what we're here to do, and what information we're here to share. But like, what do we want from those residents? We want them to fill out the forms, the complaint forms, right?
Yeah.
What else?
Fill out the complaint forms, contact their elected representatives at all levels of government, from the local, county, on throughout, even their congress person. And then file the complaint forms. And I mean, get involved.
And testimonies. Who wants to share a testimony?
And I always say, the people that show up at HOA meetings is gonna be usually a fairly, unless there's a new assessment coming up, fairly small percentage of the people that actually live there, right?
Yep.
So tell them your family and friends, and that's the only way you can spread word.
Spread.
Right. And other than recommending that they get involved in these ways, do you guys also think it would be an appropriate setting to recruit potential members of the BAB?
Opportunity?
Because we can include like a blurb of that on the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I mean, they have to go through a council member, so
Right,
we have to, I think, well, now the mayor should have an open spot. I think, Councilman Carranza is the only one that has both spots filled. I'm not sure who, is he one, you? appointed
Yeah.
him and somebody.
That's one of them. Okay.
Lady Angela. But the other ones have open spots. It's just about, they have to show interest to us and then we connect them with the. council
Connect
member.
okay,
But yeah, why not? I mean, we need some members.
right, okay. I'll include a slide about that on the PowerPoint presentation. How can we vet the PowerPoint presentation amongst us? Would it have to be discussed at the next
It's gotta
meeting?
be discussed. There's no way around
Okay.
that. Quorum's not that difficult to get now. That's a benefit. So
Right.
if you have it ready, we can always see if
Do a
there's
special
30
call.
minutes availability and works of our calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to, because that has to be approved by us.
Okay,
there's
so can everybody just send me, like if you have a little nugget of advice or feedback or whatever, and you want it to be included in the presentation, just send it to Alan, send it to me, and then I'll,
If your presentation doesn't have a motion, it's not gonna work.
okay,
You're talking to your point, very low level people relative to the science of it, so you gotta hit to their heart, right? So property damage,
Yeah.
damage,
Really?
mental and emotional stress. Like, that's what it's gotta be about. If I go in there and I start talking about
No.
rebar,
No. Liquefaction.
not the right audience.
you know what I mean? So it's gotta be, you gotta hit.
Down to earth.
And I think it's gotta be very Cuban-ish, in other words, you can't go up there and preach for 5 minutes, you gotta you know, ask
They know
open
it's-
questions relative to the emotional aspect of the blasting.
Agreed, yeah.
Right, so like who here, like, right, very, you know, rhetorical question, who here is feeling the effects of blasting, right?
Right.
Exactly,
Right.
okay, who here has damage in their pools, right? So, you know, so just
I
kind of leaving-
nominate John.
No.
to-
Thank you. I'll help, but I'm not a power player.
I do think you would make a very good presentation though.
Yes.
The presentation I have no problem with, but I just can't,
As long as you have no problem making the
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah.
I think-
That's not a problem.
I think
You
you,
can-
I think you do a very good job.
That's not a, no, but I'm just saying, you know, you just gotta ask
Yeah,
those questions when you're in front of people, make the questions, you know, emotional in regards to the damage that they faced.
So maybe that's the, you know, the starting point is not what's liquefaction, right? It's, are you feeling the blast?
Right.
Like the starting point is that emotional connection, you know?
yeah,
And then you, again, 5 minutes brief, I think the starting slide, sort of like to enter into that, do you feel?
And you get people talking, they're gonna start
Right.
speaking, right? Once you start, yes.
Yeah, you might not even get into.
People are
it.
gonna start, and then you'll get some good dialogue in the presentation.
That's always what you want it to be, like, we don't want to sit there and talk about it, you'd much rather interact.
May I suggest, during my bike rides every day, I see, in particular on Saturdays and Sundays, people that are coming in to give prices on how to replace a driveway or how to work at this, at that, whatever. So I now just stop my bike and I go, do you have a clue as to why it is that your driveway is cracked and broken in half? Oh, I don't know, I just bought here, I have no idea. I work all week, so they have no idea about blasting, they don't feel it, they
Yeah.
don't hear it, they don't sense it.
Right.
So when you go to an HOA meeting is, have you replaced your, do you have the need to replace this? You have this, you have that. And then explain why it is that they're experiencing that, because they may not know. And what I did this time is to say, I heard Fabricio saying this on the news, at least they knew Fabricio. And then I said, make sure you take a lot of pictures before you go. And when you go to the town, make sure that when you ask for a permit, you actually tell them that it is because of damage from blasting. So maybe you shouldn't be paying for a permit. You should have seen the whole block is I took. So those are the things that you need to do with HOAs. You need to wake up people. to the
Wake up,
abuse.
I mean, we've been
Wake up.
saying that for a long time,
Yeah.
even recently. On one of the social media groups, I saw someone say, oh, yeah, the blasting, that's because of the blasting's because of that new mall being built, right? I mean,
They have no idea.
it's still
They
there.
they just moved into the area. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's you people that have been here for a while, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's shocking sometimes, but, you know, I don't want to blame ourselves, but we got to do a better job.
Yeah.
As simple as that, we got to do a better job, and that's where you start with the HOA. And before I forget, one of the asks for the HOAs, HOA board president, please have your management company send out this email blast, send out information to your email server list about this. First, you know, we try to tell them we're coming and make it known beforehand. But second, after the ask is when we have something come up to have, you know, have their cooperation in spreading the word.
You leave the HOAs. Well,
No. I was gonna
On
say,
April 13th, the city of Doral is doing something
saw that.
fascinating. And that is that they are going to gather all of the HOAs to discuss all of the issues with HOAs, because they're in the news all the time now, going to jail because they are stealing people's monies and whatever. So because they're gonna have attorneys there and they're gonna have, you know, perhaps that would be a great venue for guys.
Doral is a city that we want to have some.
Christie
I was gonna
came
get
to
to that.
our, well, the mayor.
Right.
Is that just for the HOAs in Doral? They're having a convention for. the
No,
HOAs?
I actually, because I am connected with her through LinkedIn, I asked and she said they would be more than welcome to go. I now am.
Oh, no,
friends with her staff, so.
yeah, I get that anyone can probably show up. I just, I guess my question is, do you know, or you don't mind asking if the HOAs that are actually attending, if those are specific to, I think it's a great idea for the town to tell its HOAs to come together and let's have a meeting because it's such a focal point of.
Oh, for us to replicate what they're doing.
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was actually.
Well, I plan to attend the one in the round, so at least I'll have a view as to what it is that they're doing.
Yeah, with my schedule, I think I'll try that. I think it's a great idea
I
because.
hope so. I hope that you're
those-
there.
Those, to have like a convention sort of all your HOAs in your town makes a lot of sense because those are.
Well, we
Those are
used to have-
the most local government that we have, right?
We used to have quarterly meetings with all of the HOAs when Pulido was a council member, every single month, we would meet with him to tell him all of our issues and whatever.
Yeah, the HOAs, yeah,
That is the first government we have had.
it's the first government, the HOAs are really aware of what's going on each street, each speed bump, each stop sign.
Yeah.
That's why I like that idea.
And by the way, we do not have a management company. We do everything ourselves. Okay, cool.
So I don't know, is that enough?
Anything else?
I mean-
Thanks, Waymard.
I'll send you slides that I believe have some
From previous
information from
presentation.
previous presentations.
Yeah, that's
Maybe I'll have to reach out to Miguel and get his like reservoir of information and put it into my BAB folder so that I can save it, transfer it. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's gotta start like that to really grab attention, and it's gotta be simple, straightforward. 3 to 5 minutes, Q&A primarily, just to, and then our ask. I think our asker would be the last
Right.
slide, our asker.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's get that. Are you going to prepare? I guess I'll make a motion for you to prepare
Yes.
the proposed PowerPoint to be presented at the next meeting. Good second.
I'll say.
someone else. And if everybody can get me like the feedback, the sooner the better, so that way. Okay.
Let me just jump into the request. I know it's new business, since we're in the topic of the municipalities and stuff, since they're here. I just want, that was a request from the council, and for us.
Right.
We have other municipalities we're trying to team up with, and about the RAO, City of Miramar, Hialeah Gardens, and just other municipalities that you're aware of as a county also. And requesting, just support from them so they could support us and that was a council request.
Yeah, so we made our council report last council meeting. I think it was Mayor Sid.
Mayor said,
Mayor Sid, I made the request saying, hey, we need the council's help to really the city so we
right,
can get
the motion was passed.
get more real support, because right now, before, a few months ago, it was just Miami Lakes, now Miami Lakes in the county, hopefully we'll have the county do it again.
Right, that's what I meant, that's what.
So, in Mayor Sid said, well, yeah, but you should be making requests to the towns and get these towns and cities to have resolutions that make their lobbyists work on this issue, which I agree with 100%. Especially Miramar, Doral, Hialeah Gardens, and Hialeah. Those are 4 towns, the cities that are directly affected. So we have to figure out how we're going to ask these towns to do it through whatever contacts we have, but of course, some help from the county to bring them together.
Right, that's
makes
why I
a lot of
brought it up
sense.
I think, you let us know what that looks like. I think obviously we're happy to, we know the folks who could probably move the needle in each of these cities, so we're happy to provide the
Exactly.
contact information and whatnot at that point. And then as you kind of figure out what this looks like, we can see what the county's involvement would be at that point, but
I mean,
without
that's,
hesitation, happy to help make.
that
connections.
right there is the most important thing, is who we should contact
Yeah.
at each of those municipalities. Even Miramar, I'm sure you guys have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
contact there, to see how we can get on their council's on their council's agenda within the next coming months, some
Yeah.
sort of.
So then maybe,
There's someone in the
um,
office, so.
let's follow up with Rudy, Steven about, what the exact cities, and then we'll follow up with the. All right, we'll work with you guys.
Send you guys an
And I will say, we're gonna be heading out in a couple minutes, just to let you know, but,
Yeah,
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
That's why I skipped to, that's why, because I know that.
But yeah, I mean, the goal is that we have literature, we've been up there, but we can't just be us and now the county, it needs to be all.
yeah, especially
everybody.
when there's other cities that
Right.
are impacted, so.
Right, I mean, at the very least, once whatever legislation moves forward, gets put to a committee. Lobbyists should be requesting meetings, we're gonna be requesting meetings, the county should be requesting meetings, Hialeah should be requesting, Hialeah Gardens and Doral, all of 7, whatever, all of these. And these committee members should be saying, wow, 7 cities are requesting to meet on this issue, I guess it's a pretty big issue.
Correct.
Yeah, they know about it. Everyone knows this is Fabricio's issue. But there's just still, I feel like, not enough pressure, and not just the legislators, but the CFO's office. If the city of Hialeah wants to meet with, the CFO Patronus, maybe he'll take it a little bit more seriously. right?
Yeah.
So that's the goal too, because
Yeah.
it's not just it's an administrative issue that the CFO could take care of very quickly. And he just hasn't for whatever reason.
Well, I'm sure organization amongst the cities will do a lot to help.
I think so,
amplify the voice.
especially when we have Doral and Hialeah. I mean, let's think of it politically. When we have Doral and Hialeah, I think it should help. I would hope very much. So. That's the goal there. But yeah, whatever information you can get, then we'll
Happy
reach
to,
out.
yeah, we'll follow up.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
Anything else? Last questions?
On that, I think, I think we're clear. We just need to, I think that's an important thing to have ready for whenever the next, whenever, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some special sessions somewhere, maybe there'll be an opportunity, but to start preparing for the board's efforts coming next year, next
Yeah.
session now.
Yeah.
I think it's important to line those cities up now as soon as possible.
Okay, back to 7B, the Mary Lakes 2024 board opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so last meeting, we discussed it, and we discussed like, that you were asking the question, your approach.
Gigi is more.
Sorry.
Yeah, send it to me, right? She responded back to me.
No, no, completely. Pero, sí, what station? I've done Concord, Actualidad, and
I used to work in adult education.
Okay.
With,
Yes.
okay, for trusting.
10:30 in the museum.
Yeah.
We will.
I just saw him on the other day. Gemma Carrillo now, it used to be Gemma.
Yeah.
It's funny that like.
Tuesday, I know, I passed it.
Being that we're going.
Yeah.
So I work
We can just send someplace.
Well, I think,
In communication,
Yeah.
when I did all the media buying. Have you done it? So Patricia and I worked in the same department, doing the same job and the same rate. Yeah, now she's the manager. So now we're not confused anymore, but I don't. It's crazy.
I got their fair share, but everything.
Yeah.
It's the happy to work with you.
Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Alrighty.
Thank you. See ya.
I'll send you my contact.
You have a card yet?
No, I have my contact, I have a digital one.
I can share it if you
If
guys
you
want,
can,
so that
that'd
way
be
you can go.
amazing.
Don't worry,
Thank you.
I got it.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great evening.
Take it.
You got it. Take care. Bye.
Got it done?
All right.
Just forward it to me.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
We have a whole side meeting.
Guys.
We're back
Board
in session.
opinion, yeah, back in session, board opinion, no, we had like three ideas.
Yeah, well, not three
We
ideas.
floated three,
It was,
comment.
three ways.
Three
to
ways.
approach it, which is, it's always been the way,
Yeah.
but I think we need to get it on paper.
Right.
I would like to get it on paper before,
Yeah.
before I leave, and again, hopefully don't come back. At least for a while. But, well, actually, hopefully never come back, because that means we resolve the issue. So, the three approach, right, through the legislator, through, administrative, through the CFO's office, and then legal. Legal is something that we sort of have been, I don't want to say we haven't discussed, we've always brought it up. The discussions we've had has always been about claims that I don't necessarily, the board can't do anything, but not necessarily the town can do, but I think it would make sense for the town to give an opinion on that issue, the town attorney's office. Why does it have stand? Not telling it to actually do it, if that's not our decision, we can advise it to do it. But maybe the first question is, does the town have a legal right to file a lawsuit based off damages it's receiving in the town through infrastructure and public buildings? And if it does it make sense for the town to really take on this fight and try to put even more pressure? Because trust me, if you file a lawsuit, they're gonna be listening. So that's a prong that I would like to look into, and maybe the next meeting I provide what I think should be the three I mean, the three prongs make sense, and then we have to provide our opinion. I'll try, at the next meeting, I'll try to present to everybody.
Yeah.
An opinion that we would then present to the council. At some point, we'll ask a council member to get it on the agenda.
Yeah.
And say, listen, over the last 2 years, this is what we've been working on.
Read.
Well, yeah, for a long time, but, I don't know when the last time we've actually provided.
I think it was like-
Advisory opinion.
3 years ago.
But
3 or-
this is what we've been working on, this is what we found, and these are the three steps these are the three areas, and these are the steps the town should take. This is our recommendation. It's up to the council whether to actually do it or not.
Correct.
This is our recommendation for the town to take.
So we advise.
Right.
Advisory.
And I think one of the steps should be for the town to, at the minimum, at first, maybe we say, have like a little, well, the town attorney says yes, and maybe we should do this, or you have this option. But really provide them something in writing formally, to the town. And I guess the first thing I want to approve before I start drafting it is, do you agree with basically having that three-pronged approach? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Legislative,
Yes.
administrative, and legally. And maybe the third is more marketing gating support, right? But
I
Maybe
agree
not,
with
I don't
the
know.
three, but I also like adding the community first.
right. And these are the things that the town has to do, or we believe the town should do to,
Can the community
Provide
be part
process.
of the legal aspect in terms of a lawsuit?
well, it can, right? I mean, I've spoken to people that come up to me, why can't we do anything? I always told you, find somebody who wants to sue. We can sue, and we can't. But any private person in the entire state of Florida can say that, at the very minimum, the issue with requiring that your blasting damage go through the Department of Administrative proceedings, you can sue and say, I don't believe that's fair, it's unconstitutional, you're blocking my access to the courts. I can't tell you what a judge is gonna say. I can't tell you what a 3-panel court is gonna say. I can't tell you if it goes that far what the Supreme Court of Florida would say. But anyone can make that claim and do it. I haven't had anyone email me saying, I want to do it, let's find some attorneys to do it. So if someone wants to do that, that's completely outside the board, but that's an option. Again, the moment that happens, you'll see reaction pretty
You think
quick.
it's a cost factor in terms of like?
I mean, yeah, it is, unless you can get a few attorneys that are willing to do it for free. And also people don't want to put their names out there as on the person suing this massive industry. And you're not suing the massive industry, you're suing the state of Florida, saying your laws are unconstitutional. And then you're going in front of a court first here in Miami-Dade County, and then whatever that judge says, and then someone will
It's
have
a
to
touchy-
appeal, and then it'll go to an appellate court in Miami-Dade County, and then if, depending on how that goes, it can go up. But somebody has to be willing to be that person. But anyone can do it. Doesn't have to be Miami-Dade County either, right? Entire state. But that's oh, that's not necessarily. It should be someone that has it's been impacted, even though that's the best place to have. It's not
They
something,
haven't been impacted.
right, there's a standing argument.
Right.
But, so most likely someone in Miami-Dade or Broward. That has, and it's important if you go Miami-Dade or Broward, because that's different, completely different court system, court districts, but. That's what it is, and that's an option. It's not an option for the board because we're not individual people. And it's not an option for the town because the town's not an individual town, other than, does the town have standing? And I really don't know, because I don't do municipality law, I don't know. I don't even know how the town would sue for damages, right? That's a question the town attorney should figure out. The town attorney should figure out, if we have damage and blasting, do we have to also go through DOA and go through the same system as anybody else? Or because we're a municipality, do we follow different statutes, different issues? I don't know. I really don't know. So that's, that's just a starting point, right? And then if you determine that, yes, you go through DOA, does the town have a cause of action or standing to sue that the law is unconstitutional? Again, not my area of expertise.
Why do you want to throw it to different areas? No, the town, to the county, to the state.
Well, the count, I mean,
Back to
the
us.
county's
And
position.
throw the ball,
the
and throw the
county-
ball.
I agree, but the county's, well, I agree when you're at the higher level.
At the higher level, of course.
I don't agree with the town, that there's nowhere else to go to, and we're being affected the most.
Agree.
And every single person that runs, every single person that's up there says blasting's a big issue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which it is, and, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So if it is, let's do something about it. Right? all we can do is advise. But the town should look at all options. And it would not, I don't know. I don't know how much money it would cost in the town's eye and the town's attorney's eyes to file a case like that if they wanted to. I really don't. And that's probably one of the big issues is money. Especially when town attorneys not gonna work for free. And then when you hire for the town attorney, for the town's not gonna work for free. So that's another big issue too, is money. But I think it's something we should bring to the attention and push for. Because now it's been, what, 3 times that nothing's happened, and we had progress this year, don't get me wrong. But there's only so many times you can just try to keep doing the same thing over and over.
Well, it's been 20 years.
Well, that too.
That too.
That too, but, it's.
And how many complaints?
With recreational efforts.
Nelson Rodriguez will probably make an ideal candidate for being the,
Yeah,
seriously.
I know no more. I know more.
Again, if it's an individual, it has nothing to do with this board.
Right.
Right? But we can ask the town if they believe they have the ability to do it. It's up to an opinion from the town attorney, whether and I don't know what the answer is. I have no idea what the answer is. But why not ask at least? So that's one thing I would put in there. And then, on the legislative, and administrative, it's really the same way, just about putting more pressure. Trying to push more political pressure, and I think especially, there's only so much you can do on the legislative side, but I think we can maybe do more on the CFO side.
Yeah,
And I think,
speaking of that, Anna, have we received anything from the CFO's office to our
I haven't
response,
received anything.
to our response to them?
right,
I don't think we will either though.
no, so I'll remind you, I'll try to remember that point,
Yeah.
but,
I don't think we.
the CFO's office, I think if you get the attention to Al, Hialeah,
Yes.
those are bigger towns, bigger voter bases when you're talking politically, CFO is an elected official. I think that helps with that office.
Yeah.
Because when they think blasting, they think Miami Lakes, they don't think about anybody else, and that's not the case, they shouldn't only be thinking about this. So,
And unincorporated, thank you.
yeah, I mean,
That's
unincorporated
straightforward.
rate is,
A
it's,
variety of other cities,
it's-
many, around those cities.
yeah, I believe Medley has
Yeah.
issues as well. But Medley's, population is rather small.
Correct.
Very, mostly commercial, but still, and I think that's an area that we haven't touched in, is businesses. We're always talking about homes,
That's
and I get that, homes are more emotional, but your business is emotional too.
Yeah.
I don't think we've touched, Juan Sancho said he had a friend, or somebody that has a warehouse.
Yeah, I reached out to them. It's one of the people who are now ghosting me, which makes sense
Yeah.
because he's no longer a part of the board.
I mean, those type of people would be great, because it's not just our homes, it's our businesses, like what we talked about, it's our schools.
Of course.
But that's something I think that we can do a better job, is trying to get some businesses. It's not easy to get it
I
together.
went to Rubio Pharmacy, which Miguel recommended before he left. And when I got there, I was so taken back because the people said that they didn't have any idea what I was talking about. And that they have no damages to report. And I'm like,
They don't want-
Miguel sent me
They
here,
don't want
like,
to release.
you don't know Miguel from the blasting advisory board? And they looked at me like I was a psycho.
They don't want.
So I called Miguel and I'm
They
like,
don't want the publicity.
wait a second, you told me Rubio Pharmacy next door to Sedano's, right? Like, I'm not crazy. And he's like, yes, absolutely, the one right there behind your house. And I'm like, yeah, but they're acting like they've never even felt a blast in their lives. So, businesses are amazing to add to our cause for testimonial purposes and stuff, but after experiencing that, I think that they'd be afraid of the type of publicity that it would give them. And
That's one.
and especially if it's a small business, because if that's gonna affect their day-to-day operation.
Why, it shouldn't, but I get
It
it.
shouldn't.
People don't wanna do it either, they don't wanna have their name out there, they don't wanna have their face on social media and post, I get it, I mean.
No, but
we
if
don't-
you're
we don't-
insuring the property, I'm sure that they're also terrified that the insurance will go up the minute they somehow talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
issue as well. But yeah, that's and that's the uphill battle we have sometimes, is getting people to open up and we gotta, that's why when we were up there, I thought the social media posts that we put together were so effective, because for whatever reason, their name is right there. People are much more open on social media,
Yeah,
on everything,
yeah.
on all dialogue. And those posts show that these are real people. It's not just the 3 people that emailed the other day. It is hundreds, this is random people, and it's real, it's there. And that's what we need for people to actually come in, and we can use their resources, use their testimony per se, for our cause. But it's harder, it's easy to get people to post on social media.
Absolutely.
And they just do it naturally, right? It's much harder to actually get them to sit in front of the camera or whatnot and give us their feelings. And that's part of the marketing side, right? So let me, the next meeting, let me provide a proposed board opinion.
Yeah.
It seems like we all agree to go all 3 prongs.
Yeah.
And then also talk about the community outreach. And
I wouldn't adhere it to one of the 3
No,
because I feel
No,
like
that
it would
one-
get lost,
it's
but,
gonna be all.
be all of the above.
okay.
All of the above.
I'll try to make it read pretty clearly. We've been doing this is the progress we've made, this is what's happening. And here are the 4 things that we are really focused on.
Yeah.
Legislative, administrative, marketing, outreach, and legal. And then in there say, this is what the town can help us with, this is in the town, this is what the town is in the town.
Yeah.
And then, once we finalize, give it to them and present it. And it's up to them whether they want to take the action or not, it's not up to us,
Right.
we can only advise. All right, so I'll get that for the next.
Any further discussion on that?
I have another question to add to this topic. So, and I don't know what the town's rules are on like posting on social media and stuff like that, but I know that the town promotes events that different committees hold and stuff like that. So is there a chance that maybe they can help, spread the message by saying like, hey, next time you feel a blast, report it here, not expecting for them to, do anything too firecracker-ish, but would that be out of the,
Yeah, no, let's add that, I mean, it is on the, I think, it's still on the app, right? It's one of the first things on the town app,
Yeah.
report blasting.
I think.
No, not on the website, on the, whatever it's
Website
called.
too, I think.
The Town Connect app. And it's on the
on the
website,
website.
which is something else I want to discuss.
Yeah, once we're getting there.
I don't know about that. I know that it's on board.
Yeah, I know it's on the website, I'll pull it that now. But yes, that's something that we can ask the town to do, be more, provide more social media, again. We had at the last chair meeting and for all these times, it's the social media only works for what you want to see, nobody wants to see the last. So no one sees it. I see social media posted the town post and it has, sometimes I'll have 250 likes. And then I'll see something about the committee, it's got 3, and me and Rudy are always one of them, right? It's the truth.
1, 2.
It's the truth. People just aren't, they're just not popping up.
Yeah.
On their streams, on their
Do you think that
stories.
has a generational thing to do with it? In other words,
No, I don't, because
because I don't.
social media is, especially the social media that the town is on, Instagram is becoming older generation. And then Facebook is not a generational thing, like, if you're under 25, you're not on Facebook.
Yeah, you don't even know it exists.
Like,
basically.
you're not on Facebook, you're under 25. And Instagram is starting to become a little bit like that too. It's still, people that are in college now and might have it and whatnot. I don't know. I'm sure somebody knows a lot more about that. But, so no, not at all. The social media the town's on is the right social media and it's the right audience. It's just people that are, when you're searching online and everything's tied together and like your phone and everything, you're just not going to see it. You're not going to see these matters up on you're not going to see it on your, whatever you call it.
Screen.
You're in your, what is it? Feed, right?
Feed.
You're not going to see it on your feed. Now, town stories is a little different. Like I think that's probably the most effective way to get things across as a story, because the stories pop up on Instagram regardless of what you're seeing. If you-
Yeah, but
No,
they can
it's
make it a
still-
post.
I mean, it still
even if-
orders it differently.
Yeah, it's even then, it still has to do with your interest.
It's only going to show you what you want to see. Like, nobody wants to see the blasting stuff. I mean, it's-
The article written with Miguel Martinez's lessons learned has actually achieved close to 3,000 reads.
Yeah, that, I don't know how you do it. I mean, people read what you post.
The
Right.
thing is that she has an audience that follows
Correct.
her because
Right.
they like her info and updates, so it's
It's a
different.
commercial.
She posts all the time. You do. Like, that's right. Your audience appreciates what you provide
Yeah.
and they read it and they click on it. Where, I guess the next step for us to do is to put in our budget, which I think I asked at the council report to, I don't know if I did. If I didn't, I'll make sure I talk about it during budget season. That our budget shouldn't be limited just to travel. It should just give us the budget, right? And then we can spend some money on social media.
They always, when it comes to committees, they do always
Line item
do the project code
So we'll
first,
have
so
to-
just you would add for,
Yeah.
add for an additional one.
For marketing.
Yeah.
So, it's 7,500, give us 1,000 for marketing, right?
Okay.
Or 1,000 more. So that's something we should ask.
Yeah.
We gotta remind
Yeah.
ourselves during budget season. To
When is that?
You usually get an email from me, reminding you guys that it's due by a certain
Right.
date and you
Okay.
guys have to work on it as a committee.
Because
Uh,
we're
but
not gonna
it's
get to the
usually like-
7,500.
No, our budgets, I mean, so, and what I told the council last week, was it?
Yeah.
Last week, what I told them is our budget's good for now. If we ever did get, a bill pushed through committee, then we'd be going up there all the time. Right? It would be a huge
Yeah.
time sacrifice, but we'd have to. go
As the
up.
minus two.
We would have to be going up there. If it actually got to committee, I would, and then past committee, I would expect us to go up there 5 to 7 times.
That's still the
So-
budget out of proportion.
Right, which is a sacrifice that we would make personally, or the town, I believe, would just go ahead and make that sacrifice at
Yeah,
some point.
well.
But, I think the budget right now is fine. We're not going close to going through
Yeah.
it. We were
Yeah.
good with our costs.
Yeah.
So we can, I just want to make sure we have the ability to use the money, for example, when you pay ads, and everyone sees it sort of, everyone in Miami Lakes sees it, everyone in
Yeah.
Northwest Dade, I don't know.
Yeah, and you can, now you can hyper focus into different sectors, so it would help a lot.
But my experience is, I agree the town should provide some more support. We haven't necessarily asked for it. They can do it. I don't think they would have an issue doing it. It's just, I don't know how effective it would be. Based off all the other committees, and I know you hear it from other committees all the time. Oh, why isn't, why are we getting a lot of clicks and likes and this and that? It's just hard. It's hard work. Getting people to engage in social media, these people that get paid so much money just to do that, so. I don't know. You tell me.
I think it's worth a shot. We don't
100%, it's
have to-
worth a shot. We'll add that, I'll add that in there.
Anything else on that subject?
Anything specifically missing you want to add to the first draft of the report?
When does this happen? Like this meeting?
I mean, I can have it ready. We can see if we want to meet before and have a quick meeting about it, just that, and then, and for the April meeting, have it ready for final, final review.
Oh, no, that's not what I was asking. I meant like, when, right, when does that get presented? You choose the
We have
date
to-
or you have a,
Oh, when,
That-
well, first we have to
finish it,
approve it, and
Approve
then
it.
once approved,
and then
I would reach out to.
we reach out to
council
Tom.
member, to have it added.
Mhm.
So,
I wasn't sure if it was like one of those quarterly
No.
ones that we have.
we don't have it coming up until next year.
Next year.
Oh,
It's gonna do-
I would reach out to a council member, to get it approved, so no.
Or the
probably-
mayor or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably reach out to Ray, the former member,
Right.
or Marilyn,
Marilyn.
Ray, the board, I'll reach out to her.
okay,
They can add the item to a meeting.
so maybe, okay.
Anything else on that topic?
I think we're good. I'm putting it on board task here to get you guys, a proposed opinion by next meeting, hopefully something pretty final.
Moving right along, 8A, Moist Council report, which we talked
I
about.
don't think we talked about it enough.
We talked about it enough.
If anyone has questions,
Well,
let me know.
there's video too, so we saw that. Okay. B, website page review, overview.
Has anyone, I'm gonna pull it up now, has anyone taken a look recently at our website? At our
I can open
webpage?
it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I know. you-
So
you go to-
hopefully you all do know, but every committee has a website page. I know, I'm sure you have some feedback, which I appreciate if you provided.
No, but it's fascinating things. I don't even know where it is. So we take a look now. They change the way.
Yeah, so the website was completely revamped,
Yeah, right.
which it was due for a makeover. So
Oh, okay.
There's
committee.
committees and boards. And blasting advisory.
Oh, okay, so I know it.
so then you click there, view
click
our,
there.
our blasting advisory board page. And
Go there.
there's what I'm talking about. I want to get, I think this isn't bad, but I want to make sure we have the right materials up there. And if we go down to, I think, if you want to go down, I don't even know what's on videos, honestly.
So yeah, it's by sections.
Right, which is, I filed
You
last
wanna see
report.
video?
Okay, so I mean,
Yeah, you need something that,
More updated.
that thing that we're talking
One
about.
of the
in terms of making
testimonies, yeah.
The video, that should be like on our.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I mean, 100% there. So I mean, we don't have the ability to update the page, like every committee looks the same, or how does that work? I guess if you can show
In
me,
terms of, I
in
guess,
terms of this landing page. I guess if you can show me. a
Okay,
different
let me
page,
show you.
I have no idea.
Like if you click culinary.
Yeah, cultural, that's a
sorry.
good one, that's an
Culture.
active one.
It's
Okay, yeah.
culture.
so it's the main,
I don't have my glasses, sorry.
There you go.
the title and then
And then you have the drop down, so they all look the same in that way, it's not like one committee will have like without drop downs or something like that. So,
I mean, you could do it without drop down, but then
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
gonna be a
drop
super.
no, super long.
It's much cleaner. So the question I have for everybody is, and let's just have it ready for next meeting, I'll take a look. But
Review
what we should be adding there, for example,
Yeah.
videos, we should add the video from the workshop, right? We should add any videos of, I think there's been some new reporting from NBC and CBS over
Yes.
the last year.
the
We should have those videos.
the local.
Related documents, those definitely have to be updated. And we need to add in our own,
Yeah.
new documents that we've been
Our
working on
documents?
last year.
So we can't have like a 30-second video as soon as you hit the landing page? That's not. doable.
Don't know.
Maybe, I'll ask.
We might be able to, yeah,
I'm
but we
not
don't
sure.
have the video.
Right.
But you're right, that's exactly what we want the video to be, a quick video.
30-second, 15-second, whatever.
See, that should be, when you click to blasting advisory board, it should be like.
Right,
And then,
like the atom
and
bomb,
then you get into the,
like the atom bomb.
and then you get into the materials. Yeah. Have we awakened you already?
So, it's, for now, I like the idea, I agree, I guess if you can, if that's a town task, to see how much editing availability we actually have.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you guys already have suggestions, you could just email them to me.
Okay.
Rather than waiting.
Yeah,
For example, I think you can start with the documents, because I'm sure a lot of this is old and I don't know if it's even.
Yeah.
A lot of it's old too, yeah.
So if it doesn't make sense, my opinion, but I guess it's up to you guys. I feel like there's a lot going on in this, and I don't know if that helps
it's
you.
probably too much, maybe, yeah. And
'Cause
maybe.
I don't know who,
First, I think blasting concerns should be, I
At
don't
the
care
top.
I honestly don't care who the board members are, I feel like that should.
Nobody
Uh,
cares who the.
I feel file blasting complaint should be first, right, with a lot more information, like not a ton more, but a little bit synopsis
Yeah.
that we
On the
do,
website too.
right, that should
Where do
be
you file?
first.
Where do you file?
And then blasting concerns, board members should definitely be taken down to the bottom. And related documents, maybe we change the title of that, but yeah,
Add the QR code on blasting, on file blasting.
You know what, for the related documents, we could do the media kit and put on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the media.
Exactly, I mean, we don't have to have a ton of stuff, just
Yeah.
the media kit almost just by itself is enough.
Yeah.
So agreed, that's what it should be. And then for file a blasting complaint, there should be a short 2-paragraph synopsis, what blasting is, and this is why it's important to file a complaint, click here.
Yeah.
Right, it needs to be a little bit more. And that should be first, and then related documents, or maybe we change the title, just shouldn't say related documents, learn more about blasting. Should be second, videos.
Does the town monitor how many people visit this specific site right here? To get a number?
I know they have data, I don't know how specific it is, like, I don't know if it's specifically who lands on the blasting. I can ask, I don't. Thank you.
So, the thing is, I don't want to five probably not 5. I don't want 4 people to be emailing you different things.
Right.
I'm gonna make general notes now. If you guys want, we can start there
Okay,
and then take a look at it. I think regardless, the related documents, I'm sure you guys, if you guys can look at it collectively from here to the next meeting and just, if there's anything that you know needs to be deleted for a
I
fact.
mean, I would
I
delete
think
a lot.
everything.
Let's CFO director, let's do
If
it.
you wanna start from scratch and you guys
Yeah.
just send me the
I think
documents
so,
you
because
want.
at the end of the day, a lot of this is just too scientific or too specific. If this isn't good for the town website. This is good for having a 2-hour meeting with somebody.
Right.
So we would probably just get rid of everything and start from scratch.
Okay, and then for now, I will try to move file blasting complaint to the top,
Yeah.
then blasting concerns,
Yes.
board members at the bottom.
Yeah.
And related documents to change to learn more about blasting.
Yeah, media.
And then delete all links in terms of related documents.
I mean, yeah, I don't see the point of them right now. Right?
And
You
then
guys
ask
agree?
about,
I second that.
We'll just do like, okay, we agree everything we just said. Kind of motion.
Okay, anything else, comments?
Who's gonna be in
Go ahead.
charge
Oh.
of sending these? In terms,
Peter.
or she's typing it up? Okay.
Yeah, she's typing up things now.
No, the document that we have pinged at the top of the group that we created on LinkedIn has the document with everything.
Maybe
that
that's
I
something we
think-
put
Yeah.
at the list to say, if you want to see everything, here it is.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but everything, because, you know,
Right,
I
no,
make
no,
sure,
definitely, yeah.
I make sure that, you know, whatever Miguel had
Mhm.
transferred anyway, and all of a sudden he said, can you put it in order of descending?
Right,
And that means that there's a link for every single thing that is within
so
the
I think we
website.
could.
So you just
link-
click
I think
there.
we
and boom.
could- But where is that like hosted? Where, if I click a link, where does
I
it go?
just sent it to you. I mean, I just put it on email and you will.
No,
have
I
it.
know that, but I think for the town, to provide the town a link to put on their website, if I click that link, where does it go? After
It's
that?
right there on LinkedIn,
Okay, I'll.
because I uploaded the document.
Right, okay, okay.
So all of the documents are residing in, which someone told me the
There's
other
a
day,
document archive.
that I am making LinkedIn a very popular social media, that I am literally changing their own. What? It's incredible, because I never really thought about that, but I'm literally making all the traffic
Yeah,
on
and
there.
there's not,
So LinkedIn.
people will use LinkedIn for that very often. For that type of, for like a community resource like that. It's all like, look at me, look how great I'm doing, right?
Right.
It's the truth. But no one's really using it so much for that. So you're right. It's a good observation. So what I would say is, if she's putting the notes down now,
Yeah.
I'm happy to provide the related documents that I believe should be up there to her, and then we can see at the next meeting if we're in agreement with that. But I would do the media kit, a link to that link, assuming we're permissible to do that, because that would lead you to everything. If you really want to know
Well,
everything, you
even
have
if the
everything.
town does not want it, it is a list to say what should go
Right,
into
okay.
that's all.
And then, I really don't know what other documents we provide. Other than the media kit, which has, I think, everything that we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, the media already has everything. For general consumption, that's
Right.
it, so.
And then the videos I'll update. I know
Videos.
where the more
The
recent
more
news
recent,
reports are.
And
things
even
like
the,
that, in the last workshop.
last worship.
I wish there was a way to trim it so it can just be the workshop.
I know.
Don't know if there's a way to download the video from the state.
I
I'll
think that's
I'll try to
it. I
figure it out.
think you downloaded the state video, yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the video is on the
It's
website.
on
it's on the website.
Okay, okay,
And it
perfect.
tells you exactly the timing
The
and I
timing,
actually.
No, I
put
know
the
that.
number
I know
of
I
when
know it's
everybody's-
archived there, but
Right.
what I want to do is, well, then we have to host it somewhere. I'll just get.
Well, on the internet, we should never try to host it everywhere, because you're putting all that weight in every single page. If it is somewhere, then I
No, you're right. Leave the link.
Just
Leave the
put
link
a
to the
link in,
video.
exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
I am actually appalled. You know, I'm part of the group that created the internet, because I used to work at Nortel.
Yeah.
And because no one even wanted to send an email back in 1994, I'm aging myself.
Yeah.
You know, they actually said, give it to Hope, because she finds fun in everything she does. And I literally started, and every morning I would wake up at 4 o'clock and do all of the Wall Street Journal reporting.
Yeah.
And then it comes all of the news, and I'm like, oh, everybody's stealing the ideas, and, you know, I don't care. I just have fun in life. And so the point is, we were supposed to not create 17,000 pages that you would have to go visit everyone. It was just a world that would, grow up in it. But now everybody wants to have their own page and put the same thing on the same page.
Anything else? Website?
No, I think we're good there. I'll provide documents and,
Okay, and the last
we'll
thing.
got those things.
New member recruitment? If anybody has, I think we started.
I think we talked about
We
it.
need members, we told the board to.
Good night, young folks.
Good night.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you so much.
Thank you.
I just don't know if you guys have any ideas, It's like when I, on a personal note, when I talk to people about campaigning, how to figure out how to ask people for money. It's very difficult. Very difficult. I'm thankful for the people that have, but, how do you go up to somebody and be like, hey, you wanna?
Be part of the Blast
And
Advisory.
commit your time to this effort that, it's a time commitment. And, unfortunately, you'll see it on social media the past week or so, nothing's happening, nothing's not,
Going there.
it's the same thing for 20
They
years.
died, the bill died again.
That's a factual statement, it'll die, but, if you're not gonna do anything about it, you can't expect any different results. But I don't know if you guys have any ideas, how did you get involved? I really would like to, I know you came from Miguel, Rudy, you've been
Yeah.
involved forever, I reached out to
Oh, yes.
Jeffrey Rodriguez and he told me, here's a spot for you. But
I love politics. I was happy to be thinking of
That
any.
I didn't know, you
Yeah.
like Paul.
I've never want to serve in politics. but
Then
I
it
like
makes
politics.
sense,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So I was just talking to Manny and then Manny said, why don't you get involved, and abbreviated version is I thought we had to do.
Okay, no, that makes sense, that's somewhat familiar, it's similar to how I got involved, I asked how I can get more involved in town. And then, Jeff said, yeah, I got a spot open, why don't you get involved? Okay, great.
I think when we do these HOA meetings, I think that'll be a good forum to
Yeah.
to
Well, the
recruit.
board members of those
Like,
HOAs,
because
those are people,
they already have it in their DNA where they're volunteering, right?
Right.
So I think that could be a bridge potentially
even voluntary for.
to get them.
So
involved.
this is gonna sound terrible, but like, how are we going to vet or like pre-vet before we say, yes, let me connect you to XYZ person who has a spot so that you can become, because when you connect them with Manny or you connect them with Marilyn, they're not gonna do a vetting process.
Right.
They're
No.
gonna assume that you did that part and that's why you're making the connection. So how are we gonna make that first?
Wasn't it said last meeting that there was something to that effect that you couldn't do, like we couldn't?
No, so we discussed it briefly. Unfortunately, I didn't talk about it enough, honestly, that was my mistake, but,
Okay.
the rules
Spare that out.
are supposedly, the rules require that they attend a meeting, I believe, right? But there's no vetting process, it's just that you attend the meeting. The council often waives the rule, says, oh, let's just waive the rule, and that happens a lot with the committee appointments for whatever reason.
So I think, and I'm sorry to cut you, I think to your point, because I think there should be like a document in terms of providing to the council when they're gonna nominate someone. These are the core competencies that people in the BAB need.
I mean, I
We told-
provided that in the
we-
list.
Well,
And
they
that-
actually have something
Yeah.
that you fill out, since I'm the newest one, it's fresh in my memory. There's like a thing that you fill out and you have to explain, like, how do you bring value to this board when you know
Yeah,
about it?
it's
that
the
you can-
application.
It's an application form, but even before you get to that stage, right? Like, that was very smart in how he brought me in, because he would not have brought me this far had he given me all the information up front. But I think if I was given all the information up front, I could have also been more transparent as to how much time I can invest in the BAB and so on, right? So if I meet you at an HOA meeting, you're super vocal, you're well-spoken, you seem like you have your life together, whatever, and you tell me, I wanna be a part of the BAB. I might ask you like, oh, what do you do for a living, or whatever. You're gonna tell me, okay. I think it's important to kind of like prepare that person. It's not so much segregating people who don't belong here or whatever, that's not my intention, but that person needs this is what we expect from you. Are you okay with that? Are you willing to give me this much And if you are, here's the application, let's keep it moving. But if you're not willing to make those commitments, then why entertain it further? Because we just lost a member
agree with you.
because they
I
didn't
just think it's gonna be
understand
tough
how
to
involved
find
this
people.
was.
You're 1,000% right. I
Exactly.
think it's gonna be,
Exactly.
for a volunteer position, to
Right.
be able to be that picky, I just think it's gonna be
That's,
hard.
that's.
But I agree with you, you're
Right,
right.
that's like the perfect
So
ideal
tomorrow, we
scenario.
show up here and we have
Yeah.
10 people, but
Right.
those 10 people are not willing to do anything. I'd rather it be us four.
So,
It could happen, and that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're, listen,
The
the
problem
problem
is-
is,
The problem is,
Spot on.
it's a, damn if you do, damn if you don't type of scenario.
Yeah, and
Because
then we have 10
four
sign up,
people-
and we can't get quorum.
Right, or then you have, four, but you can spread everything, because four people have also lives, and they also have situations, so that it's very tough.
Right.
It had to be, a middle of the road
right.
approach or balance, because if not,
agreed, but this group here, these four, we figured it out.
there's no doubt, no problem. Oh, I have no doubt about
I've
that.
been saying.
We have been figuring it
Figure it out.
We have
But
to
if you're
figure
too
it out.
green and you're too fresh and you don't
course.
know, it's easy
course.
for you to drop it like a hot potato.
Of course.
Even when I first started, you gotta make a commitment, you make a commitment.
Correct,
So I agree 100% with what you're saying. I just think it's difficult to recruit.
it's difficult.
I
Freaking
try
meetings.
I
Not everybody
Yeah, how
is
we're getting
a
messed up.
Francesca Ortega.
I,
Not everybody is a John, or not everybody is a Stephen Hertzberg, and not everybody is a Rudy Blanco.
but I trust you, all three of you, in picking
No doubt.
somebody. Like, simple as that. I just have to trust you.
Yeah, I just think, you know,
We just gotta get.
Right.
Get it right. Get it right, guys. If you find somebody and you think they're a good fit, say, hey, why don't you do it? If you have this conversation, you have a very honest conversation, expect, there's a meeting at least once a month. It's not huge, but then sometimes we'll have 2 meetings and we'll have events. And you know what? If things go well, you gotta travel to Tallahassee, you gotta take time away from your family, from work, but this is a big effort. You're not just speaking for the town, speaking for 40,000 people, blah, 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 right? If you are honest about the commitment and they want to proceed, hopefully we're right. Maybe we're not, it happens.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been,
Go ahead, please.
you and I have been here for 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
The only other person I've been with is with the same time as Miguel.
There you go.
And,
Go ahead.
we've seen a lot of people.
Sorry. Yeah, that's.
It's part of the process.
I echo, because as part of the.
Yes.
I always tell everybody, the first part of committee is commit. If you don't get this, that's what I say, right? First part of committee is commit. If you cannot get people to commit, then your committee is not functional. So, I mean, I think you're committed people, and I'm mindful for it. I know what it's like. Working hard and trying to get things done, so I think you're, like I said, to me, it's quality more than quantity.
Yeah.
It's better to get more people who are good, and I think that people are.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I mean, when I first started, we had a pretty big board and it's trimmed down, and I think it's become more and more effective. Not that, the not the last departure, second to last departure definitely doesn't make it more effective. But
We need
it's,
bodies, I mean.
we need
More?
2 to 3. I think you need 2 to 3 more people. And that will not make more difficult. You get 2 to 3, you need 4 people. I'm confident you can always get
Yeah.
2, maybe 5. It depends, but yeah, 2 to 3. And I think we just gotta trust, like, if you have somebody, just go ahead. Or if you have somebody, go ahead. You gotta just trust the 4 of us should know how
Yeah.
to communicate the commitment. And if someone, after you have an honest discussion with them, and they want to proceed and, let me get you in touch with councilwoman, then you gotta just trust that they're able to commit. If they can't, if it results in an issue of quorum, then you speak and say, listen, I thought you were committed. No hard feelings. You can't commit, go ahead, resign. We've had people that had to resign, come back, resign due to the time commitments, whatever, that's happened. That's fine. It's not an issue. So that's the way I see it. So I think in all honesty, we're probably only 4 people that are actually getting new members, and that's what I do. Which brings me to that issue about, I forgot which council members talked about it. One of them brought it up at the last meeting about going to, for example, the Miramar board, the other town
Maine.
meetings. It was Manningham, and saying, why don't you get?
We're just
members-
asking for the support.
No, no,
also
no.
Try to get,
Why, yeah, why don't you get members from
we'll get
those,
members from them too.
from there too?
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the first stops is speak to, Laura from Miramar.
From Vermont, I was gonna
And
say.
say, hey, do you have anybody that's committed
Or herself.
or herself, that's been committed to this and shows up to your meetings and wants to come and join
Wants to
us?
come into this?
Because we need another person or two. And something for example, the most affected town outside of Miami Lakes would be great, because then they can go to their council members, say, hey, by the way, we're doing this here, I'm a member of this committee, we're doing this too, we need your help. So that's the first step I would make. I'll get in touch with her. Cause I know she has made a commitment already, whether she has the ability to do two, I don't know. But maybe she has somebody she knows or somebody on board.
Did you ever think of like maybe merging, not merging, but I guess like, like budding up?
Collaborating.
Collaborating.
We
in terms of-
discussed that last time.
Oh, yeah.
And we shared our media kit with her. And she was going to discuss it at her HOA meetings and use it as a resource on her side of things. So I wanna say like that's kind of already happening, just unofficially.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but we need we need Miramar's, I don't know if it's council or commission, but we need Miramar's legislative body to put in the support and put in the dollars
Right.
with their lobbyists,
Right.
with, let's have some people from Miramar travel up there.
Their representatives.
If these towns aren't gonna spend money on it.
Yeah, then it's not like.
A piece of paper resolution is nice and all, but at the end of the day, the only way you're gonna get some more support for Representative Riccio is the people actually there on the ground. You know, that we saw how it works. So, I will reach out to her about that and then also reach out to her about seeing how we can push them to get Miramar to dedicate resources to this. I know they have, their committee is made up oddly where it's very hard for them to meet quorum, but even if they're not meeting as a committee, 5 residents of Miramar can ask their commissioner, hey, we need support. Get this on the agenda, make the town committed to this. Do we know when the session, I guess we don't know when the session will start next year. Usually, when does it usually start in the election year? It starts late, right?
Next year? March.
Finish
start in
early
March,
because
because
they have the
it's
elections.
odd.
There's a
Right.
lot of things.
It's an odd year. It's
It's gonna be new
It's
people
20,
in the-
Right, so it'll start, it
Yeah,
starts
start in
later.
March.
On
March and
election,
April.
on odd years, it starts later and on even years, it starts in January.
Correct.
So we got plenty of time, but you just don't forget that it's important when the few months, I would say 3 to 4, 5 months before the session starts, which is later this year. Much later this year.
That's what I
We
said.
wanna get on-
Legislative
right.
activities and those.
Right, but we want to get all these towns and cities to get blasting on their legislative priority list. So then they put the money in, and they fund their lobbyists to talk about this. You need people there, the lobbyists from Dade County is there the whole entire session, right? You need-
We need the other cities and the other municipalities. We have Dade County,
And Broward County.
Broward.
They count.
But we should get Broward County to commit as well. It's not, Broward County has plenty of people being affected.
Right. Sort of member funds.
Right. Yeah, I get, if.
That's why I want to talk
Again,
to
you-
Jorge Marini, see what he says.
Um,
Because he's proposing that with Tom.
Right.
But he's a candidate.
Right, he's a
He's
candidate.
a candidate,
But still, hey,
but still, hey,
it's about getting the word out.
I agree.
Candidates get the word out. Okay. So,
Anything else? Open discussion?
let me
You?
just confirm board task here, so we all on the same page. Francesca, you'll do a 5-minute like HOA PowerPoint type thing. I think if anyone has any proposed slides or materials to email them to you.
By Friday? Can I give it a date?
I mean, you don't have, I mean, are you going to try to set a new hearing, a new meeting for it, or do you want to just present it in April? I guess that's a question.
Let me look at the calendar.
I guess it's up to you. If you want to say it's ready, let's see if we have 35 minutes to meet, then you can do that.
Yeah. If everybody
Not
can
then.
get me their feedback by end of this week.
For the presentation?
Our next meeting is April 15th.
Right.
April.
But then Easter is coming up and stuff like that. So as long as everybody can give me
Yeah,
the feedback,
Last week.
yeah,
of June.
I can have not final product because we have to review it,
Mhm.
but almost final product to where we just like tweak it and.
There and approve it, so we
Like talking points for the presentation.
Yeah,
yeah, talking points or I guess any feedback to include so that she can present.
Yeah.
And then I'll provide at the next meeting a proposed, and I think that'll take one more meeting to have to finalize, but a proposed
Board opinion.
board opinion. It is something I want to make sure to do before.
And the town task that they get involved with other municipalities and contact other municipalities.
Yeah, I mean, well, the province is supposed to send us,
And towns.
a list.
Towns.
Town tasks that provide updated budget,
And
understandability.
operated budget. Yeah.
To update the town website. She'll update the website based on our comments today. I will provide her, I will provide her some of the new materials to add to the website. And in the next meeting, we can review it and see if there's anything else we want to change.
Yeah, we put
Anything?
a package together to present to the municipalities. I'm sure you have that already.
What do you mean?
Like a little package. Because.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Municipalities. Just like we're doing for the homeowners,
Right.
And then.
Yeah, you're right.
just like we're doing for the
It would be
homeowners,
very
maybe
similar-
do for the
it would be very
municipalities.
similar to HOA.
HOA, very
So
different.
maybe-
I agree.
but remember we have the simple one and then we have the more complex. one.
Right, but with my imagination is that we actually get an agenda for these, for Miramar.
Yeah, town of Doral, whatever.
And we provide information to the town on what's going on. It's gonna be very similar to the HOA.
It can't
A
be
little
as
higher
like,
level, a little higher.
yeah,
level.
yeah.
So it'd be.
Can't be seismic damage, but it can't be HOAs.
Right. It's gotta
Somewhere in
be-
between.
it's
That's a whole separate
a whole
presentation, I think.
presentation.
Let's master first the HOA one,
And we
Yeah,
can,
like-
and then we can build up.
right, we
Write
can
like a
use,
template and then you add and take out. And.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we have the
We
media
could-
kit template,
We could do.
but which we could use for that. But I think we might want to have something that we would provide, let's say we got an agenda in Miramar or whatnot, we would provide to that town body saying, okay, here's our 5-minute presentation to a group of council members that are in 9 minutes.
Right,
That's what we need. That's all.
Yep, yep.
But I think we can get the HOA first and then work off the HOA.
Yeah.
For that.
so for the April meeting, the meeting falls on April 15th, okay? But for the main meeting, it falls May 20th. Can we move that up? To the 13th instead of the 20th?
I mean, no, that's it.
Yeah, I'd have to check that it doesn't, interfere with any other.
Okay,
April 13th.
Major.
no,
Oh.
April is fine, that's for me.
Major. Yeah.
Check, let's see if we-
Cause the Monday after is Memorial Day. so I
Right.
have to see those on it.
What's
Monday
the seventh, right?
after is
27th?
Oh, yeah, correct. Yeah, the 27th is the holiday. I mean, she can provide like different dates.
Yeah,
Is it any dates before May 20th?
any day, Monday through Thursday, except the Friday, which is the 17th and not the 20th. And everybody have their homework?
Anything else? For once, twice? 3 times, I mean, 3 times, that's fine. Motion to adjourn, second, third.